Hello, Bame Farm fans. It seems that my disc has not hooked anything, so we're going to try and have a fun and useful experiment. Yeah, there's the 4150, not attached to anything, and the TW is waiting over yonder to be hitched up, and we're going to find out whether that big Ford has enough traction and ponies to get anywhere with this. Luckily it's drying out a lot, so we're not going to find out how well it can float it through mud. It's mid-June and finally drying out in a lot of places after, wet spring. Feel sorry for those in Minnesota though. I hear it's been really wet out there for you guys, but also thank you for taking all that rain so we didn't have to get it yet again for another year. See, I'm my share. Rain, gladly. Speedy reversing time, getting to our destination. Maybe high up in the tractor seat here, this disc doesn't feel as big with the wings folded. But when you're standing next to it and it's towering, 9 feet above your head, looks like there's a lot here. Oh. Well, something's a little too high. Just have to hook up the hoses and adjust. We're hoping we have perfect alignment. We don't want to move. We found park. How's that look? All nice and lined up. Can I get a... Oh yeah. Great, lovely. Now we have to do the wings. I already did the up down. And we left this side for the wings. Lovely. Perfect. Now we can at least move it around the barnyard. That's a start. Let's get some forward action. I know what gear I want to pull it in, and it's that gear. It grinds so good. We all know this part's gonna work. Well, there we go. I almost thought it kind of maybe hydro-locked a little bit. You ever put your wings down on the road? Okay. Here's the field. Now, we saw me disc this with the 4150 when I first brought the disc home. And now we're about to try with the TW. This was sweet corn last year, and well, now it's beans, and that obviously gets planted a lot later than the corn. And instead of chemicals, I've been slowly tilling this field and trying to kill off all the weeds. At least 1 or 2 generations, let them sprout, kill them off, and reduce our seed bank that way. The Italian rye is really hard to kill. It makes great forage, a pain to dry. That's kind of what the grass is that's still left. Not the dry stuff, but the green stuff. And then we've got some giant rags here at the edge, thanks to the neighbors across the street. We now have all the power, all the wheels, dump the clutch, and away we go. I really should be watching what's happening going forward, but I'm too excited about what's happening out back. And a little disappointed in the 4150 at this moment. Granted, this is only the first, say 20, 30 yards, but it's not treating me wrong yet. We see some space. There we go. Wheels are up now. See if we actually get going with the temperature. Temperature gauge has hardly come up zero doing all the work this spring. Like chisel plowing could hardly get it hot. Knifing anhydrous, that didn't get it hot at all. We're definitely experiencing wheel slip through here. And that'll be our biggest problem. It'll probably be traction, not horsepower. But we're pulling it. There won't be any dampness out here in this field anymore. Well, folks, it's working so far. That answers one question. We're not running out of engine. We're not bogging down. We're staying right in the torque curve at 1800. We lost a few RPM. We expect to use a little bit of horsepower and pull it down, but that's what the turbo and the governor are for. To get you a little bit of power back. The 3208 and the 4150, if you bring it down below 2500 RPM, it does not recover at all. It has no lugging capability. Not even any black smoke. Come on, that's no fun. Well, what do you think of that? Making a great dust cloud. It's going to take a little bit to chop up the grass and the roots. Soil structure, right? We have roots holding the soil through all those passes of tillage. This is now the third time over this. I've chiseled it, disced it once or twice, I can't remember. Just trying to keep up with this junk. Keep it under control. Don't know how well that's working. Minor detail. It doesn't cost as much as spraying. Spraying, I figure anytime I do it, and that's cheaper than the co-ops do it. It's $30 per pass with the sprayer. By the time you have enough chemicals, additives, adjuvants, blah, 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 snake oil, it's at least $30 per sprayer pass. Bandit had the co-op quote him to spray burn down. $38. So they're charging about $8 an acre just to spray. Tillage pass, well, this thing probably burns less fuel than the white will, and I figured it was a gallon per acre per pass. Plus my time, which, how do we value that? I don't know. A farmer's time is worthless, so ta-da! That just makes it cheaper, right? We're our own slave labor farmers. What a joy. Well, I've already got lots of footage inside the disc here, so we'll maybe get some more cab footage and check up later in this field and see how we're doing. Biggest thing is, how hot are we gonna get? We have 100 and... no, we have 200 less cubic inches, but we have a turbocharger. At 3208 and the 4150, there's 636 cubic inches of cast iron fuel burning noise. And we've only got 401 with the turbo and no intercooler. The 35s have the intercooler. Same displacement, probably turn up the pump a hair. Okay, we got our gear. Don't want to dump the clutch with a full load. Let's see if we can lug our way out of this. Okay, we're down. This would have killed the white. This is why I love Fords. There was experimentation done. Ford had experimented in the 9000 series with putting a V8 in it to test if the drivetrain could take more horsepower. I don't know whose V8. The pictures kind of look like a 3208 Caterpillar. Or maybe it could have been a Perkins, but that wouldn't have gone well because if they were competing with Massey, Massey was using a Perkins. Like 11, was it 1155s, I think, for the two-wheel drive V8s. I'm not super sure of my Massey history on all that. We do power hop a little bit, because I know the field isn't that rough, being disked at least once after chisel plowing. It's better after this first pass on the settled ground that we're working with some looser soil, that we're not, say, breaking the crust so much. Temperature gauge is still good, but we've only made a couple passes. We're getting done with this field. We survived one field so far. Tractor's holding up. Gauge said it's not even a bit hot. That's a good sign. After I cleaned the radiator out this spring, it's not getting hot. It only got hot once and I blew it out from all the dust and it never moved again. Disc held together too, but I would sure hope so. Shouldn't matter what tractor's pulling it.